G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Spin the Wheel NBA 2K21 Rebuild Challenge. This is where I spin the wheel of the remaining teams that I have not rebuilt yet and just build whatever one it lands on. So yeah, make sure to drop a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed. Always happy to hear your guys' feedback, and I'll be getting into the video now and spinning the wheel. Enjoy. As I spin the wheel here, there are 29 teams on this wheel. This is the second video of this challenge that I'm doing, so if you haven't seen the first one, go back and watch it and you'll see which team has been removed. But we're gonna land on the Los Angeles Clippers. So this is either gonna go really well or really bad, because they're a win now team with Kawhi and Paul George, and they are superstars. All those questions have been called into question about Paul George, especially after his playoff performances. But if we don't win in year 1 or year 2, we might struggle, because in 2K stars regress quickly and very harshly as well. And as I do in all my rebuilds, I'm just going to leave it as it is in year 1 and not make any trades. Just going to let the team play out. I might re-sign players, or I'll trade away a player if he's gone in real life by the time I rebuild the team in question, but I don't think that happens, so for this video anyway. So there you see I re-signed Lou Williams, and I've simmed the season, and we've finished with a great record. You see we're currently on 64 wins, 17 losses. You'd think that'd be good for the #1 seed, unless the other LA team, the Lakers, went crazy as well. One of the other changes I've done for this rebuild is turned off injuries, just because they were a real pain in my last rebuild. So I decided from now I'm just going to play with injuries turned off. It'll just make the rebuild a lot funner in my opinion, and you'll get to see all the stars playing. But at the end of the first year, Giannis wins another MVP, LaMelo Ball, Spencer Dinwiddie, 6th man. And yeah, if you want to see the rest of the awards, just feel free to pause and look for yourself. As we get the All NBA teams, no Clippers in the first one, no Clippers in the second team either, which is a bit strange, and none in the third team. So we finished with the #1 seed, yet Kawhi nor Paul George have finished in an All NBA team. So that's a bit dodgy. That'd never happen in real life, I feel like. But yeah, I just had to double check because I couldn't believe it when I saw it for the first time, to be honest. But Paul George makes it to the defensive first team and Kawhi makes it to the defensive second team. So at least they made something, but they should be making an All-NBA team. But we're going to be going against the 8th seed Golden State Warriors. This is a team that you do not want to see in the playoffs, I reckon, especially when Klay Thompson returns, and especially in 2K. But it looks like they've traded Draymond Green for, I believe, Terrence Ross, it looked like there. So you're looking at the other playoff seedings, no real surprises. I guess New Orleans as a 3 seed and Memphis maybe is a bit dodgy, but everyone knows New Orleans is basically 2K's love child at this stage with Zion and Ingram and the way they progress. But we've made it through the first round. Gonna hopefully knock off my Denver Nuggets here, although they've taken us to a game 7 again, just like last season in real life. But I'm hoping this one has a different result and we can get that Battle of LA. So it's basically playing out as it did last year in real life. I'm just going to adjust the rotation here, do what the computer thinks is best. They've gotten me this far, and we do make it into the conference finals. This is the matchup that everyone wants to see. And in the other side, it's Toronto v Philadelphia. So yeah, Schroeder, KCP, LeBron, Davis, Harrell, with Kuzma and Gasol off the bench. Yeah, I don't see any changes to their team. But we win game 1, the Lakers go ahead and win the next 3, and all of a sudden we're looking at elimination in the conference finals. So I might have to do some retooling next season. And we go out in 5, and it's going to be Lakers v Raptors in the finals. So Raptors somehow making it all the way and possibly going to win the finals. Looks like Paul George and Kawhi dipped a little bit compared to the regular season stats. I think Paul George dropped off quite a bit too, which is a bit disappointing. You see, it looks like the Raptors might go on to win, and they do in 6. So that's going to be who? Pascal Siakam as your finals MVP. Could have fooled me. It could have been Kyle Lowry as well. But yeah, I can't believe the Raptors have actually won that. But you see the lottery there. We have the 29th pick, so not going to be getting much out of that. And we just have to sign a couple front office positions with CFO and head scout. But yeah, if I don't win next season, I might have to trade Paul George or even Kawhi possibly, because the rate these guys decline at is insane, and I don't want to be paying them 40 million to be getting worse and dropping an overall. So yeah, as we get through the draft here, our pick was a shooting guard called Dick Myers, and hopefully he will be a rotation piece for us in the future. But you see Kawhi and Ibaka both declined their player options, and I declined the team ones for the other couple players who don't really get any game time anyway. And I'm going to not offer Coffee the qualifying offer because I just think I can get someone who's better just on a minimum deal. But we're obviously going to try and re-sign Kawhi, although it looks like the Mavericks are going hard after him. That would be a dangerous team. Just imagine Doncic, Kawhi, and Porzingis. That's a pretty good big three if you ask me. But we're going to try not let that happen because he wanted to come to LA, so we're going to try to keep him here in LA, and hopefully he'll accept this offer. As I look to offer the max, it took me a while to get the coin up there, get the money up there. I'm going to do everything I can, so I'm going to give him the player option as well. And hopefully that'll get us over the line, and it does. I'm not actually sure what's better. Is it better to offer them just a max year deal or give them a player option? Because I feel like the player option has been the more popular one the last few years on 2K, and you see already Paul George and Kawhi regressing, and Lou Williams takes another massive decline this season. So not much green, unfortunately. It's a lot of red. As you see, Paul George is an 87 overall now, Kawhi 95. Still should be a top seed next season though. It's just these role players. You see I basically have to retool the bench. I brought back JJ Redick. But yeah, Ivica Zubac, so we've lost Ibaka as well, who was just on a little 1 year deal. But I'm going to give my untapped potential camp to my first round pick. And you see in the power rankings, we're not even in the top half according to the power rankings. So according to this, we'll be lucky to sneak into the playoffs. There's the team there. Beverly still in the starting lineup for now, but as you see, it hasn't been a good year. 46-36. So hopefully that'll be enough to get us. Should be enough to get us in the playoffs. Just depends what seed. The awards again. Nikola Jokic winning MVP. Do we have any players this time on the All-NBA teams? Doesn't look like it. Oh no, Kawhi did make All-NBA third team this time. So he didn't make it last year when we're the 1 seed, but when we're a mediocre team, he makes it. Maybe that just means he's been having to do more, being reliant on him more. And we're going against Denver again for the 3rd straight year, 2nd straight in this rebuild. But this time they're the 3rd seed. They've added Duncan Robinson, who would be a great fit for them, I feel like, just adds more shooting. But there you see our lineup: Lou Will, PG, Kawhi, Markieff, and Zubac, as we're the 6th seed. So we're the underdogs in this one. And we're down 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. Can we come back from a 3-1 deficit? It's going to be tough. You see, I've adjusted the rotation. They've decided to put Aturu in at center and rock Zubac off the bench. And it's actually Paul George who's been playing his ass off in the playoffs this time. Kawhi has been good as well, so it's just Paul George, Kawhi, and then everyone else has been stinking it up. Look at those field goal and 3-point percentages. Not sure if that's on the players or the coach. I don't know what the deal is, but definitely need to build better around those two, as we're probably going to go out in the first round here. We managed to get it to 3-2, but we go out in 6 in the first round. So we've gone from conference finals to the first round exit, which is very disappointing. And I feel like this might get even worse because I feel like I'm going to have to blow the team up soon. As we're going to sim forward here, as it looks like Lakers might be going to the finals again against Boston this time. Can they win it this time after losing in 6 last season? And it goes to a game 7, and no, Boston come back from a 3-1 deficit. Tatum and the Celtics embarrass LeBron, AD, and the Lakers. As we go get into the offseason again, now the lottery, Warriors with the number 1 pick. That's pretty dangerous. Not actually sure where our pick is, I can't see it. But we probably don't have it. I think the Thunder have it actually because of the trade. And I'm going to make a big blockbuster off-season move and bring Chris Paul back to the Clippers. I just decided to go for it. I'm not liking Luke Kennard's contract. I don't think he's going to get much better. So I've decided to bring in the big gun Chris Paul and see if he has anything left in the tank. Because now we have another star. But as I said, this player progression is not going to be looking kind to us in this whole rebuild, I reckon, with Kawhi and Paul George constantly regressing. Gonna send the untapped potential again to probably our first round pick Dick Myers, and then I don't even know who, maybe Aturu and Scrub down there. But yeah, Myers unfortunately doesn't raise it high enough. He's still a B+. But yeah, hopefully our role players are going to step up this year, because it's basically this year or never, because Paul George is regressing, Kawhi's slowly regressing, and Chris Paul, he's either going to make or break this team, I feel like. A return to Los Angeles. Probably deserves a ring, Chris Paul, in his career. He's been a great point guard, although he is a bit infuriating to watch at times. The power rankings don't rate us at all. We're actually lower than last season, so this could be a disastrous year, as Milwaukee are the number 1 ranked team, with Boston as number 2. And we're going to be making out some trades now. We're 19 and 20, not looking too good, and we're going to trade Covington for George Hill and a first round pick. And we're going to be making a big trade there with Paul George for Isaac. And we also made another trade there, and we bring in Jared Allen and Bertans. And Beverly's going as well. I'm just trying to stockpile picks at this stage, because we're not going to be making the playoffs, as we finished 38 and 44. Slight chance we finish as the 8th seed possibly, but it's not looking too good. And Paul George and Chris Paul have been dealt. But we did get a most improved player with Aturu, who's the young center, averaging about 17 points a game. So we've got Kawhi still on the team, but he's the only star left on this team now. Jonathan Isaac might develop into one. I feel like he'd be a good replacement for Paul George. Doesn't bring nearly as much offense, but he's got time to develop that, and he's a great defender with great length as well. And no, we do not make the playoffs. So we're getting worse and worse, and this isn't looking good. I might be the worst rebuilder on YouTube, to be honest. But you see New Orleans as that 1 seed, probably the favourites to win the title, as the Lakers are looking to go back to the finals again, but they're up against Luka and the Mavs. And the Lakers do make it to the conference finals, and it's going to be against Minnesota. So will they be going to the finals for the 3rd straight year? They do. This time it's against Miami, and they're not losing this time. They sweep the Heat. AD's the finals MVP. I'm pretty sure they still have LeBron too, so good job by AD there. I guess LeBron would be really old by now. But we have the 9th pick in the draft, but I think the Thunder get to swap it, so we have pick 13. Thunder have pick 9, so it would have been nice to have that 9th pick, but pick 13, probably just going to get a mid-tier player, hopefully a role player at best, but we're going to be hiring a new head coach here. Tyronn Lue's time's up. And we're going to try to bring in Nick Nurse here, championship winning coach from the Toronto Raptors. Don't know why they've let him go, but I'm going to try and sign him here, offer him all the money in the world, and he's decided to sign. So bringing Nick Nurse back to coach Kawhi Leonard, his finals MVP. And you see the qualifying offers here. I'm going to offer it to Scrub and Daniel. Not going to offer it to Windler or anyone else. Don't think they're good enough. But yeah, we don't have any cap room really, so not going to be able to sign the likes of Jokic or Harden, and we're going to be making a trade here, Bertans, just for a couple of first rounders. Not liking Bertans' contract. But all of a sudden we do have some cap room. We're going to try and sign Tyler Hero, but he is restricted, so I'm expecting the Heat to match this, but I'm going to just offer him as much as I can. So that forces the Heat to pay a lot. But you never know, they might not accept it. But he's the only real free agent that I want out of this class that's left here in free agency is Tyler Hero. Just came off a finals loss as well. And we're going to agree to sign him, but I'm expecting the Heat to match it. But they actually don't end up matching it for some reason. I don't know if their cap was too... They couldn't afford him or what the deal was, but we've brought in Tyler Hero on a big contract now. And Kawhi's still regressing, but he might have one more good year left in him. But if not, I might have to trade him away. You never know. I might be able to get something back that's really good for him. And all of a sudden, Tyler Hero is going to have a big role in this team, starting point guard, with the likes of Isaac and Leonard as his wings. And we're still sending old Dick Myers to untapped potential. He's slowly developing into a solid player at the shooting guard position. We also brought in Kelly Oubre as well as a shooting guard. Daniel Tice, Hernan Gomez, Macklemore. Basically the bench is a revolving door in rebuilds. You just sign your best 2 to 3 players and then just fill the rest with veterans and minimum level players. But we're looking at the power rankings. Lakers back in number 1, but the Clippers, you see, they rank us number 7. But we're not doing too well so far in the season, and so that was the reason for I made that trade there. Kelly Oubre was not performing, so I went out and got Rui Hachimura, and we finished 48 and 34, so a definite improvement from last season. As Jokic is winning awards like crazy, you love to see it. But yeah, the All-NBA teams again. LaMelo Ball making All-NBA 3rd team, and we're the 6th seed, going up against the Thunder, who probably have a really good team now, to be honest. They've been rebuilding, obviously. Kawhi's had a pretty good season again. Tyler Hero, a really good season. Isaac has been struggling, especially on that contract. We're paying him like 17 to 20 mil. Not getting much production, but you see the OKC team here with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think those are a couple draft picks. Aaron Gordon and Rashawn Holmes. It's not actually as good as I thought they would be, but they're somehow the 3rd seed. But I do like our chances in this matchup. I feel like Kawhi and Hero should be able to get the job done as we take a 2-0 lead. We're up 3-1, and we advance to the 2nd round against the Sacramento Kings. Just going to quickly check the playoff stats here. Yep, Tyler Hero and Kawhi were crazy good. And Dick Myers, the young shooting guard, putting up 23 points per game in that 1st round. But I am worried about this team. De'Aaron Fox and Halliburton. Really love Halliburton, and Bagley develops into a star in this game. And they've gone out and drafted this guy. I don't even want to try and pronounce that name, but he's a beast off the bench. So this is going to be a tough matchup. And you see we're down 3-0 just like that. So it's going to be a struggle. Can we win any games against this team? No, we get swept in the 2nd round. So our year 1, where we did absolutely nothing to the team, has still been our best so far, which is disappointing. But Tyler Hero was brilliant for us. Kawhi was really good as well. But we need more out of our role players, out of Isaac and Jared Allen. And Rui Hachimura wasn't good from 3 either. So who's going to win the title this year? It's not going to be the Lakers. They got upset in the 1st round by the Denver Nuggets and the MVP Jokic. And it's going to be the Kings v the Pacers. So at least if the Kings win, we lost to the champions. And we did. The Sacramento Kings win the finals. De'Aaron Fox, your finals MVP. I wouldn't mind seeing that in the future in real life. Big fan of De'Aaron Fox. Wiper. But do we have any picks here? I don't believe we do. Can't see any off the top of my head. I'm assuming the Thunder have our pick. Yeah, they do again, because of that Paul George trade. Kawhi's actually going to opt into his player option, and I'm going to obviously accept the Dick Myers team option. But this is where we're going to make a huge trade here. We're going to be trading Isaac and Allen for a beast center called Stacey Romero, 90 overall at 23 years of age. Jared Allen and Isaac just weren't living up to their contracts, so I thought I better try and find something good for them now. And this dude, Romero, is a beast. And I think I also gave up a 1st rounder for him as well, so I'm really going all out now. Only a year or 2 left in this rebuild. I've actually lost count of how many years it's been. But we do 6 years in total, or 5 basically. 5 years after the 1st year where I just leave the team as is. So it's, I guess, a 6-year rebuild. But here's the lineup. It's going to be Hero, Rozier, Kawhi, Clark, and Romero. Power rankings have us at number 8, so we regressed a little bit from last season, and our record is not looking too good right now. We're 19 and 22, and it looks like Kawhi has just fallen off a cliff, shooting 37% from the field and 32 from 3, so I might actually look to trade Kawhi here, and I am, and I'm going to bring in another big man. I'm going to bring in Bam Adebayo and DeMar DeRozan. So I'm going to be cheesing with this big lineup here with Bam and Stacey Romero. Probably one of them is probably going to be a 6-man, which they don't deserve to be coming off the bench, either one of them. So they might actually start at power forward, because Bam can basically play multiple positions. And you see the All-NBA 1st team there with Luka Doncic and LaMelo Ball, Giannis, Zion, and Jokic. Love to see Jokic in that All-NBA first team. But yeah, you see we've snuck into the playoffs as the 8 seed going up against the defending champs for this and the Sacramento Kings for the second straight year. So not expecting to get past them this time either, as they are the 1 seed. And their team just looks absolutely stacked. But you never know, some 2K's crazy with the 8 seed upsets. It always seems to happen against me, but maybe this time it'll happen for me. As it's 2-0, we go up 3-2, and it's going to a Game 7. You see the lineup there, Bogdanovic has been moved into the starting lineup. Who's been doing well for us? It's the Tyler Hero show, with Stacey Romero doing well as well, as you'd expect from a 90 plus overall player. And are we going to win the Game 7? No, we go out in Game 7. So another first round exit. Still haven't gotten back to the conference finals. And it looks like this is going to be another terrible rebuild from me. First it was the Toronto Raptors one, and now it's the Los Angeles Clippers. We're just stuck in mediocrity in this one. We just can't seem to get over the hump. But Tyler Hero looks to be good enough to get us there. Look what he's averaging here, nearly 28 points a game. On good shooting as well. But yeah, are the Sacramento Kings going to go back to back? They've got a tough ask going against New Orleans, but they managed to win in 7. Can they get past Denver? And the MVP, Jokic? No. Denver go to the finals against the Charlotte Hornets. And the Denver Nuggets are going to sweep them, and I'm assuming Jokic is your finals MVP. Yep, he is basically averaging a triple-double. And we're going to be getting back into the off-season here, where we have the number 1 odds of getting the first pick via Utah because of the trades we've been making. But we're going to drop from the number 1 pick all the way to number 5, so terrible luck. That would have been brilliant to have the number 1 pick, but we have the number 5th pick, and we're going to be looking to trade it since we need to win it all now, and we're going to be trading that and a future first for Jaren Jackson Jr., so another big man. So we've got basically 3 absolute stars in the power forward to center position. We possibly could play all 3 of them because I feel like Jaren Jackson's a good enough shooter and athletic enough to play the 3. But if not, we've got Jaren Jackson Jr., Bam Adebayo, and Romero. So one of them might be coming off the bench, but that just means our bench is going to be absolutely bolstered by the presence of them. As we're in the free agency now, we're going to match this contract for Romero. We're not going to be losing him. Can't afford to lose a 90 overall player. But we're going to be looking to sign Kuzma and Beasley as well. Some good bench production. And then we are going to be... No, we're not going to be able to sign Beasley, but we are going to be able to sign Kuzma, as Kawhi's a free agent now, and looks like no one really wants him at this stage. But as you see the progression now, a bit more green. Our stars aren't regressing anymore. It's all the old veterans we've signed to basically 1-year deals who are regressing a little bit. But you see the team here, it's looking quite decent. Romero, Hero, Adebayo, Jaren Jackson Jr. We might just be lacking on the wings a bit, our shooting guard and small forward position. But hopefully Dick Myers can get the job done. He's not doing too bad. But yeah, leave your thoughts below in the comments, guys. Have I royally stuffed up this rebuild, or have I just been unlucky with the 2K sim engine and the way they progress and regress players? Because Paul George just fell off a cliff, and so did Kawhi as well. I mean, you saw why I traded him. He was just basically a liability to our team with those shooting numbers. Maybe I shouldn't have traded him. I should have just let him see if he could recover, because it was only halfway through the season, but I feel like that's a big enough sample size to just show that he's not good enough anymore, so I decided to get something for him. And you see here, we're ranked as the number 3 team in the whole league, so hopefully this is the year, final year of this rebuild. There's the starting lineup. We actually have our highest overall player coming off the bench at the start of the season. And we're going to go on to win 63 games. Just a little bit worse than we were in year 1, but we're probably going to be a 1 seed, and this is our best chance of winning a title now, I feel like, as Giannis is still winning Defensive Player of the Year awards. He is insane in this game. But yeah, nothing really changes. You know who the best players are going to be. I think that was actually Isaac who made an all-defensive team. Not an all-NBA team, so I guess that's not too surprising. He's a great defender. Here you see the stats. Hero, Jaren Jackson Jr., Dick Myers actually was third in scoring, and then our dual centers in Bam Adebayo and Romero. So a very well balanced team in my opinion. Going to be going against the OKC Thunder. They've got this dude called Dylan Perry. They've got Brandon Clark, Rui Hachimura, who I think we traded to them if I'm not mistaken. And then they got Denny Avdia and a bunch of role players. But we should be getting past this team pretty easily. And of course, as I say that, we lose the first 3 games. What the hell is going on here? Have we lost 3 straight to the 8 seed? So I'm going to have to go tinker with the rotation a bit. Sim around, basically given up now. Probably going to get eliminated. But we managed to force to a game 7 and somehow win. As Jaren Jackson Jr. advances us to the second round. Who was performing well? Yep, it was Jackson Jr. Tyler Hero looks like he got absolutely clamped up. Putting up Kawhi type numbers there, 37%. As we're going against the Denver Nuggets again. Been going against them a lot in this rebuild. As it's going to be Dick Myers v Dick Moss from the Denver Nuggets. Battle of the Dicks. And can we beat the Nuggets here? We go up 3-2, and we do. We go to the conference finals. In a big matchup against the Pelicans. So that's probably going to be Zion and Ingram v Jackson Jr. and Tyler Hero. You see Tyler Hero's stats are recovering a bit now. I think the OKC Thunder just must have had a great defensive guard. Or maybe they just stuck Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on him and really clamped him up. But it looks like he's come good now. As we go down 2-0 to New Orleans. For some reason we start off every round so poorly. And we're down 3-1 now. So this is it. The last season of our rebuild. Can we get to the finals? No, we're going out in the conference finals. The way we came into this, losing in the conference finals. So a bit disappointing. But that's going to be it for this rebuild today, guys. Am I the worst rebuilder on YouTube? Let me know down in the comments below. But thanks, guys, for watching. And make sure to drop a like if you did enjoy. It helps me out. And hopefully next time, I'll be able to win a title. I can't be rebuilding all these teams and not winning a title, because that's not a proper rebuild. Just stuck in mediocrity. I guess making conference finals is pretty decent. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. Peace.